Welcome to Farmsteading with Susie's Secret Recipes. My name is Susie Hyde, and my channel focuses on the simple joys of country living. Join me every Wednesday at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time as I take you on a journey and show you how to embrace the beauty of nature, gardening, raising chickens, baking, preserving food, making your own household and hygiene products for both family and sale. And then join me every Saturday for a series called Memories and Stories from the Past. That involves my mother. She will be sharing stories of her childhood, my dad's childhood, stories of my grandparents and great-grandparents. And so I've heard some of the stories before, but I never get tired of them. I love hearing stories from how it was back in the older times. And I always said I was born in the wrong era. That particular time really interests me. And so I hope you enjoy it. And that'll be every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So I'm really excited about this series. And so let's get started. All right, Mama, tell me some stories about Grandma and Grandpa Naylor, your mom and dad.
Okay. Something that comes to mind when they were first married, they moved in with her mom and dad, which was Andrew and Millie Crowley Howard. And they lived with them a couple of years. And their first baby was born December 16th, 1936. They had got married November 30th of 1935 and was living with his mom and dad. And the baby seemed to be healthy, but Mama was very sick with what she called whooping cough, or the flu, she said, whichever it was. And she was in bed sick and had her first baby. They named her Frida May. And she looked healthy, they said, but immediately began to cough and not do well. And they had the doctor come out 2 or 3 times. And it was cold winter time, and this was not the warmest of houses, and they kept the baby in the kitchen and up close to the cook stove and open the oven door so they'd be sure and keep it warm. And that was what the doctor told them to do. And they were trying to feed it by bottle because Mama was too sick to let it breastfeed. And on Christmas Day, it died. And that made Mama never appreciated Christmas Day after that. She didn't want to do anything on Christmas Day. She wanted it another day. Anyway, so they rent a house, and it was down between Nennecaw and Alex, and it was a little shanty of a house with a little bit of land. And I think Daddy had planted some cotton. And to earn money, there was just hardly any jobs around, and they didn't have a vehicle. I think they had a tractor, an old tractor. No, they had a horse and plow. And so anyway, he had found a place he could work hoeing for this guy in his field. And he said he walked 10 miles to get there and 10 miles home. And he hoed from sun up to sundown for $1 a day. And he said he got very little sleep because it took so much time walking.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they got together a few dollars, and Mama had a ticket where she had wrote out, she had it in her cookbook, when the cotton crop was made and they sold a bale of cotton, she bought a bill of groceries, as she called it, and on that she had a little bit of everything. It was like flour and sugar and coffee and a pair of overalls was on there, a pair of shoes for her, and it come to $3 and something. So you can tell back then money went a long ways, but you didn't have much money. Anyway, so they live in this little shanty house, and Mama was there long days by herself. And by this time, she had had my brother, Benny Naylor, and he was just a toddler, and she's expecting me. And they live in this same little house. And she said one day she was out hanging up clothes on the clothesline, and she misses Benny. He had been right beside her. And she said, I went looking for him, hunted everywhere, and she heard him laugh. He was under the house. There was a little space where you could open it. And she said, when I bent down to look in there, he took off and went to the crawling fast as he could go to the furthest corner. And she said, I could not make him come out. He would not come out. I begged and I threatened and I did everything I knew, and he would not come out. She said, so I decided I had to go get him. I couldn't leave him under there. Well, what she hadn't figured on, she was expecting me, and she said, while I squeezed and got through the opening to get in there, and she said the house was up where she could crawl a little bit and scoot on her stomach and sideways, and she finally gets him, and she had to drag him out, and he was giggling, she said, the whole time. So anyway, she gets over there and she pushes him out, and he takes off again. And she's trying to get out from under the house. And she said, I got hung and I could not. I had to twist and I had to turn, and I finally got myself out. But she said I was scared I was not going to be able to get out. And anyway, so then she had to go find him again. He was a little character, I guess, when he was little. And so after I was born, they decided to go to California to make enough money that they can come back and buy a place and not have to rent. And I was a year old, and Daddy went ahead. Seems like he got a ride with someone out there, and he went on ahead and he found a job working at a barrel factory where they made barrels. And this would have been in 1942 during the World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So jobs were plentiful. And so then when he rented a place for him to live, and he sent Mama word to come, and so she goes on the train with me and Benny. Benny being 3 and me 1.
Oh my.
And she said she never had such a terrible time. It took like 4 days to get there. And she said if it hadn't have been for these soldier boys that were on the train, entertained Benny while she took care of me, and I was crying the whole way, she said. And anyway, they played with him and took turns taking care of him. She said we never would have made it. But anyway, so she finally gets to California, and they decide they're going to do everything they can do to make money. And Daddy decides to take 2 shifts, 2 8-hour shifts at this barrel factory. And Mama gets a job at a candy factory working 1 shift. And the lady that owned the rent house lived beside them, and she took care of me and Benny while Mama worked at the candy factory. And then when Mama come, when she was in her off time and weekends and nights, she took in washing and ironing for people. And then on weekends, on like when there was a football game or something, now we were in Downey, California, and Daddy, somehow he bought all these oranges, and we would put them in sacks of 12 in a sack, and he sold the sack for $1. And we had a little trailer, and Daddy had parked somewhere along the edge of the road where there was a lot of traffic at a stop sign, and people would hand their $1 out, and you handed them a sack of oranges as they drove up to the stop sign. So they did that on weekends, and anyway, they got together enough money. They were there. I was 5 when we come back, so they were there 4 years. And they came back and didn't quickly find a place to buy that they could afford, so they rented actually just around the corner from where they had lived to begin with. And so we lived there till I was 9. I went to a little 1-room schoolhouse, and there was 13 of us. When we first moved back in California, you could go to kindergarten when you were 4, and you went to 1st grade when you were 5. Well, we come back here and there was no kindergarten, and you couldn't go to 1st grade till you were 6, so I was very unhappy. And Benny went to school. We walked to school and back. When I finally got to go, it was the 2nd semester of my 3rd grade and Benny's 5th grade. And so Mama and Daddy had talked about it, and they decided, he'd looked around and they didn't think they could afford what they wanted, so we were going to go back to California and make some more money. And Mama didn't want to go, and Benny didn't want to go. But Mama said, I said, well, I do. I had a jar full of money when I was out there. Now, I don't remember having a jar full of money, but I guess I did. Anyway, we decided Daddy says we're going to California. So we had a big auction. We had cattle and things on this rent property. Sold everything. We had horses, cattle, pigs, chickens, furniture, farm equipment. Sold it all. And we made it to Lovington, New Mexico. I don't know if it was 2 days getting there or what it was, but Mama decides she's not going any further. She don't want to go to California. She wants to come back to Oklahoma. And Mama was a determined person. When she wanted something, she got it as well. And so she decides, okay, she'll just quit eating. If he don't take her back to Oklahoma, she'll just die because she don't care. Well, he couldn't persuade her to eat, and he didn't want to come back to Oklahoma, so he rents this little house. And we stayed there 2 weeks, and she quit eating. And he got scared and decided maybe he better bring her back to Oklahoma. So we come back to Oklahoma, and my grandpa Naylor had a little house in Chickasha, and Grandma had died, and he had went to California to stay with some of Daddy's brothers and sisters that were out there. And so we moved into his empty house while Daddy looked for a place for us to live. And that's when he bought the house in 80 acres where I was the rest of my life till I got married.
So guys, if you enjoyed the video today, then please give me a thumbs up and put it in the comments. And thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't, then please click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and it will notify you when I'm going to have another video. And so guys, I will see you on Wednesday at 4 p.m. for an episode of Susie's Secret Recipes, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. for Memories and Stories of the Past. So may God bless you, and happy trails.